Greetings, universe! My name is Orbital Bacon, and I am certified G1 and a real freaking Prime. And you can't teach that. And this right here, this is my army of freaks. They're weird and they're proud, and you can't teach that. Bada boom! Realest bots in the room, how you doing? Welcome to another live stream. Fall Week Burrito, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Having a good week so far. Greetings. Josephine Britformer, Mimi Lucky, Battleframe, Autobot Crosshairs, Silencer Zero, Silverstorm, The Bug, Nightmare Reina. We got all the freaks in the house. Sorry for starting a little bit late, but we're still getting settled into the new place. But we've got some fun stuff. Wanted to take a little break from all the craziness going on in the world and just look at some fun random Transformer related material from Japan because you know it's gonna be wild. So I've got some Japanese Transformers anime that you may or may not have heard of or seen, and some pretty wild stuff. So we're gonna have some fun viewing that. Of course, if there's anything that you think the army of freaks would like to see, maybe test the might of the freaks, see if we're made of sterner stuff, you can request a video for me to react to through Super Chat. There is a link there in the description, as well as to merchandise. If you want to support the channel and get yourself a t-shirt, there is a link to the merchandise in the description below. And I've got a goal on the screen there. You can see, I don't know, it's kind of tiny. I didn't want to crowd up the screen too much, but it says for the Space Bridge. I'm trying to add some new features here to the streams, and I've got a few ideas that I think you guys will find pretty entertaining. So we're going to see if we can get those done faster than I'd be able to on my own. So we've got a goal there for the Space Bridge. So we can add that in here, start activating the Space Bridge and going off to random locations. So that'll be fun. All right, well, without further ado, let's introduce the Goon Squad, let them make their introductions, and then we can get to the craziness that is the Transformers anime.
Greetings, chat. Shockwave here, good to see you all. Silverstorm black holes, that's right. We'll be able to conduct all sorts of scientific experiments. I myself am very excited to get the Space Bridge activated once again. Who knows what we could get up to? Yes, I don't know what, I'm probably going to get ejected into it. Knowing you guys, knowing how these streams tend to go, I'm probably going to get thrown into the thing and sent to who knows where. I'll probably be sent back to prehistoric times and have to hang out with Waspinator again. So I'm not really looking forward to it. I can't really say that I am. Well, that's too bad for you, Screamer, because the rest of us, well, we're really looking forward to it. So, and you're probably right about that. I'm already working on a few new ejector devices. The chat has requested that Bumblebee and Shockwave and a few other characters be ejected into space and possibly collide with each other. So I'm already working on some aimed, devices so we can target how we get to the, I don't know what you call it. Collision? I don't know. Either way, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Don't worry about that, Screamer. You just, you take it easy.
All I know is I'm not getting ejected. I'm the one who does the ejecting. That's right. Soundwave, you're gonna be safe and sound. Wait, I did. Redundant. I didn't mean for that pun. Excuse the pun. Mr. Monarch, welcome. Yes, they're going to collide. I don't know. We're going to have some chaos ensue. It should be a romping good time. All right, let's get into these. Get into the craziness here. Hoop gang. What's up, Josephine? That's right. Please order our Transformers. Actually, don't order our Transformers. Hasbro, we're going to have a talk, Hasbro. Ironhide, sadly, you're here. Don't worry, Ironhide. It's not going to be so bad. It's not going to be as bad as some of the other. I tried to update the thumbnail. I don't know if it worked because it was not supposed to be a cringe stream necessarily. Depends on how far we get into these series. But this is mostly just going to be having fun, just hanging out, viewing these crazy episodes. I mean, I've got a few highlights pulled up, as well as some wiki pages so we can get some background on this as well. Omegas, welcome. Let's get this window pulled up here. We're going to go in order for the most part with Transformers Headmasters because this was the first thing that came after G1. For most people, G1 ended with the third season. Well, there was kind of a fourth season, but it was only like 5 episodes or something. It wasn't very long, but they did a rush job on bringing Optimus back because people were upset that he wasn't around. And then it sort of died out for a while. They did G2, which was really just a remix of G1 episodes with weird graphics in between them. And then Beast Wars came later on, so we'll get to that. We'll get to Beast Wars. But in Japan, they continued on. They said, no, we're not content with the ending of G1 as it was in the West, and we want to continue on the series. Let me enlarge this a bit because it seems like I just can't see what's going on here. There you go. Enhance. So the Headmasters was the first Japanese exclusive Transformers franchise, and as such, marks the departure of the Japanese animated continuity from that of the US. Because basically what that means is they were just dubbing the G1 series in Japanese. So they had the same continuity that we had for the most part. It was just translated and dubbed and aired the G1 episodes that we had. But this was original animation. It was planned out by TV Magazine writer Masumi Kaneda, who had previously worked on the Transformers manga. The series follows on from the events of the return of Optimus Prime, completely ignoring the rebirth. Which I kind of think that's a good thing. I kind of like the direction they went in here. Because that's where, I believe that's how they, in G1, in our continuity, in the West anyway, when I say our continuity in the West, introduced the Headmasters in sort of a different way. They were Autobots that were fused with like aliens. It was this weird thing. I don't really want to get into that because that's not what we're here to discuss. But I sort of like how the Japanese franchise handled it better. It was just their power. They weren't fused with any weird alien beings. Anyway, they introduced the Headmaster characters in a distinctly different way. Emphasizing the difference between East and West, the series and its accompanying manga employed different character models designed by Ban Magami, illustrator of numerous Transformers manga. They were slightly different. I mean, you can still recognize, you can see the image here. Let's see if that's, yeah, you can still see that on the screen there. You can tell that they weren't wildly different. You can recognize Chrome Dome and Weird Wolf and Hardhead, all of them. It's not difficult to tell who's who, but they were slightly different from what we got in our character. The Master concept was entirely reimagined for the series, discarding the Western idea of the Nebulons, which were the aliens I mentioned before, and establishing the Headmasters not as Transformers who bonded with organic beings, but as diminutive Transformers who connected to and controlled large lifeless bodies named Transtectors. So basically the heads of the Headmasters were the consciousness themselves, like that was the sentient being, for lack of a better term. And their bodies were just extensions. Like when the head was detached, the body was lifeless. It was just an extension of almost like an extra vehicle or weapon or whatever, however you want to look at it. Drawing on a plot point established in American episodes such as Destruction of the Dinobots Part 2 and Fight or Flee, the Headmasters were introduced as refugees who fled Cybertron millions of years ago and settled on the planet Master, where they developed this new technology and trained hard in order to survive the harsh environment. Kaneda notes that he chose to give the Headmasters non-combatant origins in order to add an extra layer of meaning to the concept of transformation, as the young bots grew from civilians into fully fledged warriors. So in other words, these weren't battle-hardened war veterans, as most of the G1 cast was. These guys were mostly peaceful, young civilians who grew into warriors, transformed over the course of the season. Consequently, it was Chrome Dome, a character essentially overlooked in the West, who was chosen as the lead of the series and cast as a fiery youth in order to emphasize this personal transformation theme, as well as to carry on the pattern of leaders with automotive vehicle modes. Yeah, because Chrome Dome of the Headmasters, he had the most car-like mode. A lot of the other Headmasters had a more, let's see, Hardhead had like a tank-type mode. Highbrow he was some sort of flying vehicle, right? I think a couple of them had flying vehicle modes. His opposite number, and perhaps the true breakout character of the Headmasters, was Decepticon Six Changer's Six Shot, a powerful ninja character who also embodied the personal transformation concept with his shifting allegiance. Yeah, Six Shot was sort of one of the main bad guys, but he had a really interesting character dynamic. He was like one of those warriors of honor. You know, he had that code of honor sort of thing, so he didn't always like what the Decepticons were up to, so his allegiance was shifting back and forth. Now, this just gives you a brief breakdown, but this isn't the most interesting part. This is just an overview, so you can kind of understand, like, all right, this is where we're coming from with what the Headmasters are. But let's get into it. The fun part is actually watching some of it, right? I don't really care if I get copyright because, well, I'm not monetized anyway. It's you guys that helps keep this channel going. I appreciate that. So what I've got here is a few, I was looking through a few scenes. Now, I didn't go and get like a highlight reel because I want to show some of this in order. This is from The Final Demise of the King of Destruction. And this is just to give you, this is an English dub. Now, we never got an official English dub. If you bought the DVD set, it would be in Japanese with English subtitles. And the Japanese voice actors do a fine job, don't get me wrong. But I did find an English dub. I want us to listen to a little bit of it now. Why did that just skip ahead? I didn't want that to skip ahead. Pause it right there. Some of that brilliant voice acting. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff. Oh, yes. The English dubs crack you up, Silverstorm. You probably know what we're in for here. Transform! Transform! That reminds me of the Indiana Jones part-time. Transform!
But I have to go out and do something to help.
You're right. After Ultra Magnus's death,
You're right. Why does Metroplex tell you, I have to go do something to help?
promise.
Go out and do something to help.
You're right.
I have to do something to help. Metroplex has never sounded more threatening in all of his time.
After Ultra Magnus's death,
Yeah, that's what we get for Headmasters. For the English dub. Terrible. They didn't stop there. Oh no. I mentioned Beast Wars earlier, and just as they continued G1, they continued Beast Wars with Beast Wars 2, Super Lifeform Transformers. This was a Japanese exclusive spin-off of series Beast Wars. Of course, it broadcast on April 1st. Started on April Fool's Day, back in 1998. This was conventional 2D animation as opposed to the 3D that Beast Wars used, but that's fine. It follows the Maximal crew led by Leo Convoy, who have pursued Galvatron and his Predacons to the planet Gaia. There, Galvatron seeks to mine and exploit the powerful but highly unstable energy source called Algamois Energy. I don't even know how to say that. Anglemoy's energy, which rests beneath the planet's surface. They always have to have weird names, I guess. But I've got a few clips of this. Let's find this here. Here we go.
ここは銀河の辺境にある惑星ガイアだ。平和なこの星に今怪しい影が近づいていた。
This is a scene from the first episode. This is them arriving. We get that classic Predacon symbol. Go back a bit. Oh. Right there. Right there, you can see the classic Predacon symbol. The Destrons were what they called the Decepticons. That looks like Megatron. Be quiet, yeah, be quiet.
Galvatron 様、あの光の発するところより強いエネルギー反応が。
不明のまんまだしさ。ほんまやで。
うおーい、腕が鳴る。俺はいつでも出撃 OK なんじゃい。
総司令のいない部隊なんて王様のない将棋と同じだ。
さすがスクーバ。
So here we have the cast of the Maximals. We're being introduced to the characters. As you can see, they're quite ridiculous. Quite ridiculous. Yeah, it's much better when it's not dubbed. You can actually get into the story when it's not dubbed. So Beast Wars 2 had some interesting stuff. When they first arrived, as you can see there, they were discussing they didn't have a leader. And later on, in the second episode, we get the appearance of Leo Convoy, who is the leader of the Maximals here. But this series is, I believe the entire thing is available on YouTube. If you guys want to find this to watch it.
あのままビーストモードでいると気持ちまで動物になっちまうところだったぜ。なっとるなっとる。あ、いけねえ。あ、アパットだったのは。
There he is.
そろそろ本当の姿を見せてくれてもいいだろう。
Show us your true form.
変身。
Did you catch that, Silver? Did you catch that? Let me turn the volume up.
変身。
Henshin! That guy's way too excited.
重いしね。
みんな心配をかけたな。私はこの通りピンピンしている。
よかった。やっぱり無事だったんですね。コンボイ司令。よくぞご。
So happy. Such a happy moment. So yeah, as you can see, there was definitely a lot of fun being had here. Metamorph, yeah, I'm not sure about the translation for the subtitles themselves, Bug, because obviously it should be transformed, but it's just interesting that they would translate it that for the subtitles. But I believe the entire series, or most of it anyway, is available on YouTube. You guys can find it and watch it. This was another scene that I found that I thought was pretty fun.
テニスとムーンも詳しく知らない人工惑星について一人だけ知っているやつがいる。
You might see a familiar face here. Oh, look who it is! Look who it is! Looks like Megatron. The G2 Megatron.
I was surprised to see some of the characters that show up in this. Mez TZO. I'm glad you discovered the stream as well. Welcome. Those two characters there, I believe, were from the toy line. I believe it was called Machine Wars. It was somewhere around the G2 timeline of toys, and they had something called Machine Wars, I believe. It was right before the Beast Wars, and I believe that's where these two characters are from. But we have G2 Megatron here, and he's yelling at him just like he should be. I like Japanese Megatron. Want him to yell at them more. Perfect. This is great. So yeah, you got some characters that pop up here that you never know who's gonna show up. So it's great to see Megatron, and even in Japanese, he's yelling and berating his subordinates, just as he should. Now, the silliness doesn't end there, because I don't know about you, I'm a fan of pirates, and they had space pirates. Because what's better than pirates? Space pirates. Anybody who's a fan of Gokaiger, because I know some of you watch Toku out there. I got my Kamen Rider fans, Super Sentai. So if you're a fan of Gokaiger, you like space pirates. Well, Beast Wars got your space pirates.
宇宙海賊シーコングはすでに海の大陸に到着していた。目的地に着いたぞ。着水準備じゃ。
Prepare for splashdown.
何するんじゃブラマンだ。この下手くそ。びしょ濡れになったじゃないか。
シーファントムのやつ、サメが水をやが。
All right, this guy is already my new favorite character. This guy is already my new favorite right here. I want to be his best friend.
どうする？宇宙ボケが冷めてちょうどよかったんじゃないのか？
野郎ども、集まるんだ。野郎ども、集まるんだ。
Yeah, gather around, mateys.
失礼ね。シーコンズには野郎だけじゃなくて。
Okay, new top waifu. Who? Bug. I know Bug's in the chat. Smash or pass? Is this a new top waifu? Top 10 anime waifu? What do you think, chat?
海のレディーもいるのよ。
スキューレ、化粧なんて無駄な抵抗はやめた方がいいぜ。
なんですって？
Savage! Why bother with all that makeup? All you're doing is fighting a losing battle. She just got roasted!
なんですって？
そんなに真っ赤になって怒るとタコと間違われるぞ。
あたいはイカよ。誇り高い拳目の血を引いてるんだからね。
ガラジェ、わかったから離してくれ。
今度変なこと言ったら吸盤で全身のエネルギー吸い出して。
If you say another weird thing, I'll drain all of your energy with my suction pads. Does this make her more or less of the top 10 waifu? Does this move her up the ranks or down the ranks?
ちゃうわよ。
静かにせんかい。
親分に免じて今日のとこは堪忍してあげるわ。
アクセル親分。こんな海の上でタイタニックでも引き上げようってんですかい？
今回の作戦は長老シーラゴンから説明がある。
This is the boss. This is the boss of the pirates. The final boss. Why did I play sad music? I don't know why I played sad music. Wrong button. He looks sad. Oh, he's asleep!
飯の時間か。飯の前に作戦の説明をしろ。
そうじゃったそうじゃった。
シーラゴンは惑星ガイアの暗
Yeah, we've got a lot of craziness here. And then because it didn't end there. That was not the end. Here it is. After Beast Wars 2, we had Beast Wars Neo. Now, Beast Wars Neo, from what I've seen, is not as, like, fun and upbeat as Beast Wars 2 was. We'll look at a little bit of it here, but it wasn't as, like, lighthearted, I found. Following the end of the final battle in Beast Wars 2, Vector Sigma and the Convoy Council send a new team of Maximals under the command of Big Convoy to investigate the disappearance of Leo Convoy. At the same time, a new Emperor of Destruction, named Magmatron, follows them to Gaia to find that weird-named energy capsules. And the Maximals must stop him and his Predacons from succeeding. So that's basically, it's just kind of a rehash, the same old story. We do have a third faction known as the Blintrons that try to intervene. They threaten both teams. They're not really working for either team. They're just after the energy themselves. And they serve Unicron, which is interesting. So we'll take a brief look at that real quick. Big Convoy, yeah. Delilah, welcome. What did you miss? Oh, we've just been going over some of these wild Japanese anime Transformer series. Yeah, Mez, the Seacons here have one of the best personalities. I mean, I could watch these guys all day. I want to be friends with the Manta Ray. He seemed like a fun guy. All right, here's the clip. Now, like I said, this one isn't as lighthearted. So this one seems like they went with the dark and edgy approach.
宇宙のどこかで今日もサイバトロンの自由と平和のための戦いが行われている。
We have the classic laser pew pew. But one man stands against them all. Or one bot, I guess. It'd be one bot stands against them all. Nani?
お前一人で
昔からつるむのは嫌いでね。
ワンマンズアーミー。
The one-man army, that's right.
伝説の戦士ビッグコンボイ。
Big Convoy.
伝説の戦士ビッグコンボイ。
Big Convoy.
Big cannon! Go!
With a big cannon, that's right. Cool guys don't look at explosions. We all know that. Yeah, Beast Wars Neo was quite the experience as well. Not quite as lighthearted though, but still some fun. That's right. That if Big Convoy had dropped in and said, Omae momo, shinderu, that would have been great. That was a missed opportunity right there. Yeah, they announce everything. They always call out the attacks for those. But I just wanted to show off a couple of random anime that I had found. It was just something fun. Thought we could have a few laughs along the way. So I hope you had a good time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Remember to stay weird and stay proud. This is Optimus the freaking Prime, signing off.